Welcome back, folks, and today we're bringing you a ship I've been wanting to bring you back for a long time. But this has also been a journey for myself. Hipper. I played Hipper back in the day when I was, grinding up for the Rune, the Hindenburg, all like normal people. And, there was no operations for Tier 8, so I was doing it at random. I hated this ship with a passion. But I think a lot of that wasn't the ship, it was me. I didn't know how to play the ship right. So, for those of you that have had trouble with the Hipper, or thought about, maybe picking up the Prince Eugen, watch this replay of Hipper, and just imagine being in a Prince Eugen and doing it. It's a better Hipper, basically. Everyone's played the Hipper, knows about the Hipper, so we're just going to go over it real quick. We're only going to cover the pros and the cons. Starting right off the bat, it does have 27mm armor along its side, so it is HE, resilient to a point, but it also is susceptible. So it has decent armor, but the main point about Hipper is her guns. Are her 2 or 3mm guns. They do it 10 seconds. The AP velocity is 925 with the HE being the same. The AC has a 51mm armor penetration. That's fantastic. That's German HE for you. That's a huge strength of the Hipper. Not many ships in operations have above 51mm. Only ones that I can think of would be the Yamato and the Musashi, maybe the Izumo on Aegis. It really depends. Those are really the only ships that would have that kind of HE resilience. But Hipper will pin most ships you're facing with HE. AP is just phenomenal. It has great velocity on the AP. AP is great for broadsides, everything. If you're not broadside to it, HE. The reload is a little rough at 10.5, but that's not that bad when you consider other ships out there. So, torpedoes, these are only 6 kilometers, 64 knots, and they do about 14,000 damage. They are located right here, and on both sides. So you get 6 on each side. These are basically Russian and do, attack torpedoes. But the main damage dealer for the ship are her guns. AA-wise, if you wanted to spec her AA build, she would be a very formidable AA ship, without a doubt. Concealment and maneuverability are where it gets kind of iffy. Concealment, even with a full concealment build, I don't have a concealment build because I went with a maneuverability build. So I have 14 kilometer detection. My maneuverability, though, rudder shift is a 4.4 with 32 knots. Now, for the equipment, again, I went with full maneuverability, so I did main armaments, damage control 1, aiming systems, maneuverability for steering gears 1, and steering gears mod 2. Because without it, I just feel like the Hipper is super sluggish. And this is something I was trying out. And I really do like this book. I think this really gives the Hipper the maneuverability she needs so that you can be aggressive and get into the situations where you wouldn't think you could, but then have the ability to get back out. Now, she gets the standard German Hydra, 6 kilometer detection on ships, 4 kilometers on torps, 3 charges, about a 2-minute action time with a 2-minute cooldown. You can extend that if you switch it out for the Hydro search module, which I would honestly recommend. Although if you're doing AA build, you can do defensive fire also. It really depends, but honestly I would recommend Hydro if you have the extra coal laying around. I don't want to spend the coal, so I just went with damage control. Now for the build, it is only a 7-point captain, so I went with grease the gears, priority target, and adrenaline rush. If I had a full point build at 14 points, I would do top grade gunner, superintendent, heavy AP, probably consumable enhancements, gun feeder. That would bring me to 19, so I'd have 2 more points. And then I would probably do demolition expert. That would be my build for Hipper. But if you're going to do randoms, I would highly recommend taking concealment expert. Absolutely. But it really just depends. If you're going to do it for only ops, you can be a little bit more fun playing. If you're going to take this captain from Hipper to Rune to Hindenburg, you want Concealment Expert. Yeah. Now for the exterior, this is what it would look like default. It's actually a very nice camo, but you can get the gladiatorial King of the Sea camo and the armory for a lot of community tokens. It's a lot. But if you do the test server and just do what you can, you'll get it, but it's not the best camo. It's nice, but it's not the prettiest, in my opinion. I like it, but that's just my taste. But let's get into the replay, and we'll show you how Hipper does. Welcome back to Hipper's Tech Line, folks. Today we've got Northcote, Turpitz, Mayoko, Pensacola, Grom, and myself and Hipper with Roll Katsuki and the Richelieu. So it was great to team back up with him again. We haven't seen him since, June together. So it was great to finally get on at the same time. Since he is Australian, it's hard to link up at times. So it was great to catch him in the morning for him.
Stand by for action.
And you see that it's not the best. I mean, we've got good cruisers. It comes down to players, really. And the Grom says, bless. It's not great. And Northcote says, agreed. That's never a good sign. And he says, worst op by a mile. I actually like this op now. Ever since it went to tier 8, it's actually very doable. It's actually really easy if you know what you're doing. Now, as you did see in our setup, we are full maneuverability build because Hipper is not the most tanky ship. She needs to be more maneuverability because she's pretty sluggish. So, I think this really does highlight the strength of Hipper and all of her armament. You know, like right there we get some good hits and we get about 16k. The AP has great velocity. It's just a really good ship to get. And we're just hammering these cruisers. So I don't choose to push in because there's really no point. The velocity is so great that I can just sit back here and hit their broadside. But look at the Northcote. He's pushing straight into that Kuma. And Roll Katsuki and I are thinking, Roll Katsuki is like, is he going to ram? So it's not looking great for the Northcote. He kills it, and he rams it. Look at his health. It just evaporates. We did get that back there, though. And we ended the first wave with 62,000 damage. Which isn't bad. Now, like Miyoko, we're turning around, and we're not going to push into these guys. Even Roll Katsuki was like, you're going to do a funny at the beginning? And I was like, no. I know the Hipper, I know what it does when it gets overextended. Because I played this thing in random and hated it. So that has forever tainted my view of this ship. It was not great. But ever since tier 8 ops, I feel like this ship has found a home here. It's extremely strong, and I really do like the Hipper. Ever since I decided to give it another chance. Because when I was playing it, I didn't have the best game knowledge. As I've gotten more experience, I've been able to get better at understanding the ships and seeing where in the past I went wrong in the playstyle. So, coming back to Hipper is something that's been well needed. And she's deserved it. She got a really bad rep from me in the beginning. But I really do like this ship. If you like Hipper, or if you have Eugen and you like the Eugen, Hipper is just a no-brainer. It's a good ship. But obviously, if you like Hipper, you'll want to go to the Eugen. And such as in our game survey a couple months ago, hard-hitting Oregon was on the list of ships to buy. It's still on the list of ships. We're just slow at picking them up. As you did see, we do have enough recruits to pick up either the Tone or the Oregon. The only problem is hard-hitting Oregon would be very easy to get and very doable. Massive airstrikes with Tone is very dependent on getting Volrong, Cap, and myself on. Hopefully Devil, maybe Rokatsuki, but we'll see. We see that the Grom just takes Kabuki Torp and he bites it, so that's unfortunate for him. He was doing real good. And as you see, I don't have gun feeder on, so that is a skill that you definitely do want on the Hipper and the Oregon. Now we underlead that just a tiny bit. We don't get that squishy Citadel, but this salvo though is gonna hit. We get about a 14k salvo there. That's the strength of Hipper AP. The German AP is great. The AP is even better. Like, we got a pretty good broadside, and we're just going to chunk him for small amounts of damage, but it all adds up. We're going to cross 100,000. And in the end, it's really going to come down to me and Rokatsuki helping to carry this team. Now, yes, I could, go back in. I could switch around, but there are a lot of squishy cruisers that need to be hit by this armor-piercing shell. Just getting the range. And trying not to take too much damage is the key part. The North Coast is still pushing in. Not the best for him. He's pushing into 3 DDs. No Citadels, but we did get a nice almost 2k hit in armor piercing.
Problem solved, sir.
And we are chunking that Mayoko, but we're not getting the Citadels. But we put enough damage on him that the team can pick him up. Now, we get a nice good salvo on that Ayoba. And I thought I would nuke it here, but we didn't get lucky. We just got overpaced. I thought, okay, we'd get that cruiser. Nope. RNG just says no. Switch back to HE because we have the DDs. He shoots all the torps for the North Coast, and the North Coast goes down. Him ramming that ship really hurt him. So losing the North Coast, unfortunately. I am here popping Hydro, so the Perfect is here with me. Which is great that he's out here helping. And 145k, and we've only lost like 10,000 health. That's not a bad trade. Again, DD damage equals more XP, so we're just pushing these DDs in. Because we need to help kick them out. Rokatsuki's over there, he's helping too. He's moving into a position to take the reinforcements. Cruisers. So, I mean, there's no doubt we're going to get the Romeo. It's just making sure. Knock out the engine on that one. It's basically dead. It's not going to be moving much. There's the torps. And I'm like, is he going to avoid those torps? And Rokatsuki takes evasive maneuvers to avoid those torps. I switch back to the other duty. And we detonate that.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
So, we lost about 10,000 health, but we almost did 170,000 damage. We sprinter sit behind this rock so that we're shielded from the Ibuki and the Gneisenau now. But also so we have the ability to actually run away.
Reporting. Enemy cruisers entered the combat zone. They're chasing our aircraft carrier.
Rokatsuki shoots, and he gets a nice double citadel on him. So, good for him. But as you can see, no one's really supporting the other side. Everyone's on this side. So I already know that I'm going to help get these cruisers down, and then I'm going to go back to the 9 and 10 line to help secure it.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
We got a nice 10k salvo there. Not great, but still good. No citadels. And it gives us a citadel on the last shell. Of course. But we're at 200,000, but we lost like 10,000 health. That's 3 health management in a hipper, 6 kills, and 195k. We pick up natural selection. So that's not bad. We do load HE, and we are ready to run. Because we can't stay out here. And you do see that Musashi is looking at it. And one good hit from him and our health is gone. There's the shells. Then we try to take evasive maneuvers to avoid getting hit by this guy. And they just all miss me. We got a little lucky there. Had we messed up, that would have taken a good chunk of our health. And that would have put us out of action pretty quickly. When Himper takes a citadel, it takes a citadel. And it hurt, and you feel it. We're going to shoot the Z, and we're going to make our run for the other side. The team is out here. We don't have to really worry about this side. Our target is letting me know, so I know the DD's shooting it, so we know that. It's if 2 happens that I would worry about the Musashi. We do try to shoot on the Musashi. Maybe get a fire. Maybe get a permanent fire. You know, you can help. You can try. Rokatsuki's basically got bad guys now down the camp.
This is Base Commander.
He's gonna have some fun over there. We do see the Mayoko is charging into a Z, and he's gonna die. We do hit a fire. We DCP'd it, so maybe we'll get another permanent fire on that Musashi. I doubt it, but we can try. Odds are that the Musashi is looking at the Mayoko. And the Z's fire picks up the Mayoko, which is unfortunate. The enemies are shooting at the southern battery, at the center battery, so we decide to shoot this Kikaze. We know he can melt our health. So he's the key target. Like solid 8 shell hits. All of our shells are landing, and we're gonna try and pick up this guy. We do pick it up with our secondary. You just see the Des Moines were shooting it. Okay, I've got one aiming at me. I pop both. I don't get to pop lot higher though, but it's whatever. We do knock out the torque too, but we have to go for a drive-by. And this is worrying because it's not. Oh, there goes the torque. And we drop both of our sets. I mean, we're going to have to take a torque. That's all we can do is it's take one torque and live. We do pick up the rune. Up to about 207,000. Now we've still got one set of torps left. 2 sets of 3. And we're going to do a slap on this Nagata. The team is just having a field day with that Musashi. Rokatsuki did really good on that Gneiss. Now he got like a 10 to 17k hit on the Gneiss now, straight up the butt. We bounce it on our side, and we miss those shells. DCPs. And we try to get some more fires on him.
The ship is on fire.
There's our torque, and we pick it up. And we go to 343. Really interesting damage number there. I just saw. Well, 346, but close enough. A very interesting damage number there, though. I would only notice that the second time. I didn't notice that the first time. So, C stars, natural selection, and assistant. Surprisingly, no contribution. I honestly thought if Rokatsuki hadn't been there, we probably would have had a major contribution. Team score, though, heavily on my side. At 2342, Rokatsuki 1308, Turpitz 1179, and then Miyoko 1113, Northco 971, Pinsy and Grom are 929 and 923. So definitely a really hard carry there. Looking at the detailed report, you see that it was kind of almost the same amount in terms of HE and AP. About a 50% hit ratio with those shells. 12 torps launched, and we did about 80,000. Not a lot of damage, though. A good part of it was in fire damage, though. We look at what we took. We did a really good job of negating the damage, for sure. If you can negate the damage like this, you're going to go far in the Hipper, for sure. And the Eugen. Credit-wise, we weren't running much, so with only like a 20% credit booster, we still made a good profit of 400,000. So that was unexpected. And we made a decent amount, almost 2k base XP, a little bit of Commander XP. We weren't really hoping for much, but a really good game, and they hit her. I think that's one from one of my record books on this map. 400 has been my highest. Actually, no. 500 has been my highest in a Turpitz. But that's a Turpitz. This is probably my second highest in a cruiser. So, a really good display of how to play the Hipper. Textbook Hipper gameplay.